It was round 2 today for Missouri death row inmate Marcellus Williams. The Missouri Supreme Court last week threw out a plea agreement that would have stayed Williams' execution and leave him in prison for the rest of his life. So it was back to court this morning for a hearing in which a judge will decide whether the trial jury got it wrong. People on both sides say the evidence against Marcellus Williams in the 1998 stabbing death of Lisha Gale is a mess. 2 key witnesses are dead, bloody fingerprints were destroyed, and that DNA evidence the defense has put so much faith in was contaminated and compromised, which might explain why Williams agreed to a no-contest plea deal to begin with.
If you're going to use science to harm people, make sure science is correct. Make sure it's preserved correctly.
Williams has been in a strange dance with the legal system for the past 9 years, ever since the Missouri Supreme Court first delayed his execution to allow for the DNA testing. 2 years later, former Governor Eric Greitens put another hold on the execution and impaneled a group of judges to review the case in light of the DNA findings.
We're looking at an execution a couple hours from now, and the governor interceded, and now we get our day in court and talk about what these results mean.
The Innocence Project took notice after an online petition calling for a stop to his execution received more than 250,000 signatures.
If you're going to execute somebody, you ought to have a really good fact-finding process.
Greitens left office in 2018, and successor Mike Parson found himself in the dark.
Will they make a recommendation to you, and what will you do then?
I would assume they would. I've not heard they're not going to.
But that panel never submitted any recommendation, and Parson ultimately disbanded it. In 2021, state lawmakers approved legislation to allow prosecutors to reopen cases where they believe a miscarriage of justice has occurred. St. Louis prosecutor Wesley Bell did that in the Williams case.
I believe wholeheartedly that my father that he is innocent, but we're still fighting, and it's not over.
Marcellus Williams was present for today's hearing. Observers say he remained stoic throughout. As it stands now, Williams is scheduled to be executed by lethal injection September 24th at the prison in Bonne Terre, Missouri.